Grandpa versus the bike. My grandpa was raised in a home where they had very little. They never got all the toys and conveniences that other kids would sometimes get. The closest they ever got to that life was in their imagination as they flipped through the pages of the Sears catalog at Christmas time. So when my grandpa was able to scavenge enough parts to build a bicycle, that was a really big deal for him. He spent months collecting every part that his young hands could get a hold of. Some parts would come from the city scrap pile, others from the garbage. Still yet, some would come from bicycles that were abandoned near or tossed into the local canal. He painstakingly assembled all the parts that he had until it made what looked like a bike. Some of the parts didn't quite fit. Some parts were old and rusted nearly through. Sure, he was missing a bolt here or a clamp there, but overall it resembled a bicycle. He lived on a hill, and he really wanted to show his mother what he had accomplished. So proudly he sat perched on top of this patchwork bike at the top of the hill yelling, "Mama, watch me. I'm going to start at the top of the hill, and when I ride past the house, watch me from the window." His mother assured him that she would stand by at the ready. He was very excited and he wanted to put on a good show, so he decided he would need to ride down the hill as fast as he could. He pushed the bike for the first few feet, ran along beside it, and then hopped on the seat and began to pedal. His mother was standing at the window waiting for him to go by. "Watch me, Mama, watch me," he called as he approached the house, which was 3/4 of the way down the hill. He pushed the pedals down, alternating as hard as he could, trying to accelerate more and more. Faster and faster he went as he descended down the hill. Unfortunately, the faster he went, the faster the incompatible bike parts disengaged. Piece by piece, the bike began the process of involuntary disassembly. He lost a fender, then a pedal came off. Pretty soon the front wheel tucked underneath the bike and rolled away. By the time he passed the front window of the house, all his mother saw was a little boy running past the window, holding onto handlebars, running as fast as his little legs would carry him, doing giant leaping steps, trying not to let the momentum throw him forward onto the pavement. This type of ingenuity gone wrong seems somewhat genetic, though. The family happened upon an old pair of skis, but my grandpa and his two brothers, there was 3 of them, and there was only 1 pair of skis. As genetics would dictate, they all thought it would be a grand idea to find a way for all of them to ride one set of skis together. This would take a bit of engineering and a hearty dose of bravery. Not long after, they'd figured a way for them all to be attached to the same pair of skis. This was going to be great. What fun they would be able to have. Well, they got on top of the hill, each brother strapped in, lock and load. It was all ready for the final push to get going. Each then counted down, 3, 2, 1, and they all thrust themselves forward, inch by inch, until the tips of the skis were dangling in the air above the top of the steep hill. And with one last mighty thrust, they began to move, slowly at first until the skis tipped over the top of the slope and went straight down, gaining speed more by the second. Well, a big part of skiing is that when you begin to gain too much speed, you turn to regulate that speed, but they hadn't planned for that, and pretty quickly they had to figure something out. As you may have guessed, it didn't end well. There was at least 1 broken arm, some contusions, scrapes, bumps, hematomas, and possibly even a concussion. For most, this would be a lesson learned, but clearly not for everyone. This was definitely a genetic, as the future stories will tell. Have you ever done anything wacky? Rode on something that wasn't meant to be ridden? Built something? Then put way more faith in it than common sense would dictate? How badly did your experience end? Hit that like button and add your story below. You never know. I may eventually use it in a future video if I ever run out of zany stories from my own clan. I hope you had a bit of enjoyment at the expense of my grandfather's bad life choices. There are many, many more to come, and I welcome you to the fireside to make our family a part of yours. Come back often and hear the newest old stories. If you tap that thumbs up for me and subscribe and possibly drop a comment about this video or one of your own experiences, then that will help me grow this channel and allow me the time to continue to make more. See you next time.